Sports Talk. We're here with the legendary Coach Niblett from Hoover High School on the eve of playing IMG Academy. It's always a huge game. Anytime IMG comes to town, I know you know that's a tremendous task. It's also a tremendous opportunity for you.
Well, it is, and we pride ourselves on trying to play the best competition around here, so we allow ourselves an opportunity to see where we're at. I mean, I think that's the only way you evaluate yourself. We feel like we're a pretty good team too, and a pretty good program. So, if you ask any of my kids, they all feel like they're the best. So, you want to find out if you're the best or not. Why not go against the best? So, we look forward to the opportunity.
That's one of the things I actually had. One of my questions was, you guys opened up with Pinson Valley's defending 6A state champs. St. John's was the top 5 team in the nation. IMG was the top 5 team in the nation. Then you play in the toughest region, arguably in America,
right.
7A Region 3. How does all that help your team get ready for the playoffs?
Well, even in January, we start off-season workouts. I mean, it's all about getting ourselves ready for November. And so, how do you allow yourself to get better for November? I mean, we may schedule some teams that, we could beat or, and be undefeated at the end of the season, but I mean, that's not what our goal is around here. Our goal is to win championships. So what have we done to put ourselves in the best place possible, the best mental disposition we could be in going into the playoffs, and then what kind of confidence can we gain? And I think only through adversity is where you figure out what kind of team you got and what your makeup is.
I know you guys went through the gauntlet, man, and to be there, 7A Region 3 champs is unbelievable. That region has been in a huge accomplishment.
Well, we pride ourselves in our region. I mean, everybody does. That anybody can beat anybody on any given night. It's a physical region, so we feel really good about being able to win that. It's like I told somebody else, but that's not the championship we want. I mean, we're proud of that. And at the end of the year, we can look back on it and be even more proud. But, I mean, winning that blue map's what we always concentrate on.
And one thing, playing a team like IMG, and I covered them when they play modern day, they're constantly up on your receivers, pressuring the quarterback. Nolan Smith, #1 defensive end in the nation. What are some of the things you're going to do to prepare to get the ball out and give Robbie Ashford some time to make some plays?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you got to try to change it up on them. You got to try early on. When they're playing at their fastest, you got to try to get the ball out of your hands. Try to get some good plays to start off with early. That box is going to be pretty tight early.
Yeah.
And then, be able to get some one-on-one matchups. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, if you can get one-on-one matchups and allow yourself to where it's not 2-on-1 but one-on-one matchups. I mean, we got some guys that I like our matchups, and so we get a 50-50 ball. We got to make plays. We got to get George going early, get Larry going early, get Robbie going early, and we got some other guys that we feel like we can get going early. And then if we'll get off the field on third down defensively, I think it'll help us gain some momentum throughout the game too.
And I love last year, you guys, coming out of the second half when George got going, it seemed like they didn't have an answer for him.
Well, it helped too when we figured out that we could play with him. I think there's a lot of noise going on outside that when you first scheduled the game last year, everybody's like, what are they doing? Or nobody feels like you got an opportunity. So then sometimes if you hear it long enough, you'll start believing it. And so I don't know how much confidence our kids went into the game with, and I felt like we had a good plan, but I didn't think mentally we were where we need to be. It was kind of gut check time of either we can get embarrassed in the second half, right, or we can go out and we can fight for what we believe in. And our kids went out and played hard, and I really actually felt like if we'd have played another quarter, we might would have had an opportunity. But you only play 4 quarters. You don't get 5. So
that's it.
But we're not into more victories, but I do think that was the turnaround for our season and allowed us to win a state championship last year because of where we were after that point.
Absolutely, man. That game, as the game rolled on, and it's a testament to what you guys do in the weight room and conditioning. I noticed I seen a lot of their players doubled over, and it looked like their players was taking the punches. And the second half of that game was a totally different ball game. And I went with a buddy of mine. He noticed the same things. Like, man, they're starting to wear down. And you did. Your testament, man. You guys started wearing down.
Well, and if we're going to accomplish that again this year, then we've got to do a really good job early on in the game. So, we got to play really well on special teams. Last year they had a kickoff return for a touchdown. We snapped the ball over the snapper's head. We had a turnover that they returned back to the 1-yard line. So when I showed our kids those 3 or 4 cut-ups, we did that to ourselves. They didn't do it to us. We did it to ourselves. So part of the 21 points they had in the first half, 2 of them we gave them. We put them in those situations. And so we got to do a really good job of making sure that we handle what we can, play discipline, make some plays. We get opportunities to make some plays. But then if it's going to be a negative play, just cut our losses. Don't make it into a worse play.
All right. The last thing I'm going to close down, something you do, man, everybody, we're from Gadsden, and everybody up there notices you do around the state, probably all around the nation, honestly, is how you grow these men, not only, physically, spiritually, turn them into being men. and everybody commends you that. Everybody from Gadsden talks about that all the time. Could you go a little bit deeper into that? How that came?
Well, I mean, I think our number one goal is every day you wake up, you have to ask yourself why. Why you do what you do. I can only answer for myself as far as a coach goes. Coach is a ministry for me, so it's always been important for me to impact people's lives. It's hard to believe that I've been coaching over 20 years. I can remember my first team at Aniana. I can remember when I was at Oxford. I can remember my first year here. And I think the key to it is when you wake up every day, like, what are you trying to accomplish? God's blessed me tremendously, so when I wake up every day, I'm trying to serve Him. I'm trying to seek Him and His purpose and His will and His plan for my life. And I just know it's to make an impact on other people's lives. So what can I do to give them energy? What can I do to give them positive reinforcement, but also when they need constructive criticism, And so I just think for me, I'm trying to develop great husbands and great fathers one day. Because football is going to stop. They can go to the pros.
That's right.
And they can play in the NFL for 10 years, but at some point in time, if they're still living, the ball's going to stop bouncing, right. And they got to have something to fall back on. And they're probably going to have a family. They're probably going to have money. And they're probably going to have another job.
That's right.
And they're probably going to have children. So what are you doing to help yourself there?
Coach Niblett, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
You're super busy. Good luck.
Well, God bless you. It sells up. Thank you, sir.